some type of justice, because his death was just, it was cruel and it was preventable.
Tonight, absolute outrage on our Facebook page after a veteran who recently moved from Georgia to Wisconsin died from hypothermia after being released from a VA hospital. Within minutes of us posting this story online, we were flooded with comments, with thousands of you sharing that story tonight. The overall sentiment in those comments, shock and sadness that a veteran who served our country would end up dying that way. Now, if you haven't already seen the story, here's what happened. Vance Perry's family says he went for a routine appointment for paranoid schizophrenia at Middletown Memorial Veterans Hospital and was admitted for mental instability. But his daughter says he ended up being released.
Friday morning, when they released him, they didn't make sure that he got in a car, they didn't make sure there was a car there for him, and he walked away.
His body was found this past Sunday in a parking garage, the veteran wearing just a light jacket despite the sub-zero temperatures. The hospital says it arranged a taxi to take him home, but for whatever reason, he didn't use it. And that because Perry voluntarily checked out of the facility, it could not forcibly keep him there. But that's not good enough for his daughter, now planning his funeral.
Regardless of his mental illness, and especially because of his mental illness, he should have been taken better care of.
And tonight, Faith Abube is tracking the reaction on our Facebook page, which has been swift and angry, with also some backlash against the family. And Faith, Perry's daughter is actually now responding to some of these comments.
That's right, Vinny. She says she felt the need to after several people started slamming her and her siblings for considering legal action when they hadn't seen their father in 5 years. So she jumped into the comments and started responding. And here's what she had to say this evening. She said, quote, "My siblings and I have been searching for my father for close to 5 years with legal documentation to show he was taken away from us. So at least have the decency to not insult the grieving children of a father that was ripped away." A lot of people, though, coming to her defense while also really coming down on the VA tonight for the veteran's death. Linda, for example, asks, why did this happen? He deserved so much better. Why do we continue to fail our veterans? Mickey also expanded on that, saying, you know, this man has mental health issues. Call him a cab, okay, but sit with him until it comes and make sure he gets into it. You saw he only had on a thin jacket. And as we mentioned earlier, the hospital is responding, saying that the veteran voluntarily checked himself out and legally they couldn't prevent him from leaving. And I want to bring you back in, Vinny. I know you were a former prosecutor. What does the law say about this?
Yeah, you can't hold someone against their will if they voluntarily admit themselves. So the hospital is correct on that part. If you're talking about lawsuits down the road, it's difficult to sue the federal government. There is an exception for the VA if it's some sort of medical malpractice. But this case remains to be seen if any of that is going to be part of this whole case.
And this is going to be really interesting if and when this ends up in a courtroom. But right now, this conversation is shedding light on a lot of things, years of neglect and abuse at VA hospitals across the country. 11 Alive investigators, along with the federal government and our news partners across the country, have had several bombshell investigations that revealed problems like low quality care, botched surgeries, delayed diagnoses, long wait times for urgent health problems at VA facilities. And Vinny, this is a system that provides health care to nearly 9 million of our veterans across the U.S. So these issues really disturbing. And with this veteran's death, it's just very sad for that family.
Oh, absolutely tragic. And it's something that I think all Americans agree needs to be fixed. Faith, appreciate it. Right now, the conversation's still going on our Facebook page. If you haven't already commented, you can join that discussion and let us know your take on all of this.